Welcome to the Rock and Review. I'm so thrilled to have on Parker Millsap. I've been trying to get him on this last year, but he's been too busy touring and doing great things. You know, Rolling Stone, let's see, I think New York Times, everybody's been raving about you. You were an artist to watch, you know, and Sir Elton John is one of your fans.
Crazy. It's insane.
And you've got an awesome album, Other Arrangements. And, you know, I was telling you before we came down to the studio, Parker, I've had a great time listening to your album because it's like you got the rockin' songs on here, and you've got a nod to, you know, like some of your heroes with some of the blues. I can hear some Stevie Ray Vaughan and Clapton. But then also your acoustic guitar work is amazing, too.
Thank you.
And so it's nice to hear, like, your Water. I really like that, man. I really like the, you know, and then, but, you know, I think it was on Singing to Me where it's like the guitar effect you were using was like blowing my mind. It was like a pedal or something.
I don't remember what we did.
And I'm like going, what is he using on there? So I'm going to have to dig into that.
Yeah, just send me a clip of like, what's this noise?
Yeah.
And maybe I could tell you.
And you and I were talking too with the cover of your album. It's so cool with the old Bronco with the different pickups you have in here and the storied amplifier.
Yeah, that guitar, there was a guitar shop in my hometown that had a Bronco that I always wanted, but I could never afford it.
Yeah.
And then I went to a pawn shop on tour about a year and a half ago, and I saw this one.
Right.
And they wanted a reasonable price for it, and I could afford it this time. So I was like, I'm just going to buy it. I'm going to do it. But then I ended up, yeah, taking a router to it and putting new pickups in it and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, in some people's minds, I probably ruined it.
I think it's incredible, but you're my kind of guy. You're always trying to find like the guitar deals. I mean, obviously you got a beautiful, you know, Martin D18.
Right.
But I mean, with this one and with your Excelsior amplifier.
Yeah, that amp cost me $200 and it was spray painted, so I spray painted it some more, and then it got stolen, and we found it, or a guy found it on the side of the road and returned it.
And it had tire tracks.
Yeah, it's got some road rash on it if you zoom in on that.
I think, you know, just like the old blues guys, I think that helps the tonality.
Oh, yeah, it's been broke. It's been worn in like a baseball glove or something. Yeah.
Well, you know, and I mean, you've had so many awesome gigs because obviously I keep up with you, you know, opening up for Jason Isbell and playing the Ryman and all this kind of stuff. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit, though, for our viewers that may not know, what happened with the management of the Old Crow Medicine Show? How did that all work out?
Well, my manager, Norm, he came to a show. I got asked, my first time ever to Nashville, I got asked to do an NSAI Songwriter in the Round, Nashville Songwriters Association Incorporated or International, something. Yeah. It's a nonprofit.
Something with an I.
They do really good work, and they invited me to do a Songwriter in the Round at the Station Inn.
Yeah.
And it was with two of the guys from Old Crow, Ketch and Critter, and Sean Camp. He's a great songwriter.
Sean's amazing.
Yeah, he's the man. And then me. And I was like,
who was also amazing.
I was like 19 at the time, but
undiscovered.
Yeah. But Norm, my now current manager, happened to be at the gig and saw me, and then like after a few months of us, having some dialogue, I moved to Nashville and started working with him.
And you started opening up then for Old Crow also.
Yeah, we did some opening slots for Old Crow, and then that kind of led to opening for other people, and yeah, it was really nice. Yeah,
you've got so much going on, and then the next thing you know, you're playing these shows in the UK.
Yeah, just flying everywhere, trying to get in front of people. Yeah, the town that I'm from and just kind of the environment that I was raised in, I didn't really know any working musicians. Like I didn't know too many people nobody who made a living playing music.
So,
I knew people who taught lessons.
Oklahoma was not the mecca of guitar players then,
right, not exactly. Not exactly. But, so for me, I'm just grateful to get to, like, the fact that I get to go travel and see a bunch of the world that I would never have seen otherwise. Yeah. To me, that's still fresh and real.
And you play with such intensity, and not only with the clown puke guitar pick, also that is your special model. That I think that's going to be a signature model eventually.
Hopefully, Golden Gate.
But I mean, you play with such intensity, man. And obviously this album I think is much different than your past albums. But as we said, even talking on the news piece, to where it's like I think it gives a nod to some of the people that you grew up listening to.
Yeah.
Such as the Claptons and the Stevie Ray Vaughans and the blues. And I mean, you're playing in the open D and open E and stuff like that, and it has a cool sound, a different vibe.
Thanks. Yeah. A lot of the tunes on this record are in open D, and at first or open E with capos on it in random places, but at first I started learning about those tunings to do slide. And then
brilliant.
But then eventually I figured out, there's chords in there.
And they're different.
And they're different.
Yeah,
they sound
different
completely
fingering.
different than you know, standard tuning guitar chords. So that was a lot of the impetus for musically for a lot of the songs on this record.
Well, and you had a new video that came out recently for one of your songs.
Yes, for Let a Little Light In.
And so where can viewers find that?
You can get it on YouTube. You can get it on my website at parkermillsap.com. 2 L's in Millsap.
That's right.
You can find it on my social media at Parker Millsap on Twitter and Instagram. And does Facebook do at? I don't know. Just type in Parker Millsap. It'll show up.
Well, now I got to ask you, Parker, since I finally got you on the show, man, what do you got planned for 2019? Because it's like you tour a lot.
Yeah.
And you play sold-out shows. I mean, your popularity keeps growing. Anything you can kind of allude to on the Rockin' Review?
Yeah, we're going to be doing I'm going to be doing a solo touring in March. So I'll be doing shows like this with an acoustic guitar. Yeah. And then in April and May, we got some full band stuff coming up. We're going to be doing Stagecoach, the festival out in California. Wow. Full band. And some shows in Texas. But then also next month, we got some secret music coming out. Really? That I can't really say anything about.
So they have to follow you on the web or social?
Yeah, follow me on social media. You'll find it.
And then they'll get it, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, and I hate to say it because, I mean, this album just came out in 2018. But when do you think your next album and stuff's going to hit out?
I would love to put one out every year, but it'll probably be next year before another full length comes out.
Well, you know, and you're from Purcell, Oklahoma, but now you're based here.
Yeah, I live in Madison, really.
Well, and we'll still call
That's
it here.
Metro.
Yeah, because everything's around Nashville.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I know also you're always on the hunt for cool guitars too. And you were telling me you picked up another cool Strat-like one recently.
Yeah, at the Sam Ash in Madison. Actually.
Yeah, and so you found a Squire.
I got my first ever Strat. For guitar players, you'll know this is weird. I've been playing guitar for like
since you were 8.
15 years or so, and I just got my first Strat. Yeah, it's a Squire, $200. I got it used, the classic vibe. It's green. I'll probably take it on tour. Come see it on tour.
Well, and I think, you know, and you and I were talking too because we're guitar geeks, but what a great value in those.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's got the matching headstock. It's got the cool paint job.
Yeah.
I mean, for the money, you can't beat them.
Yeah, and you can replace anything on it with a nicer version, but I got it stocked.
Well, you know, Jack Pearson likes to buy those like by quantity, and I figure, well, if they're good enough for Jack, they're probably good enough for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
That is so cool, man. But you got so much great things going on with the tour, with the solo tour, with the band tour, new video out, new music rolling out. A lot of good things going on.
Trying to stay busy.
I think the Nashville move was a wise decision.
Me too. Me too. It took me a second to settle in because I'm from a tiny place, you know.
But that's all right.
But then Nashville's not New York City. It's a nice ride,
like we were
right
talking,
in between.
Yeah, it's like once you know some people here, man, it's like, you know, everybody knows somebody else. It's like the Kevin Bacon of music.
Yeah.
It's like the 6 Degrees. It's like, oh yeah, I know them.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody knows everybody in Nashville. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It feels like a smaller town.
Well, I'll tell you what, I love your music, man. It's hard for me to pick a favorite track on here because I really, like, She is such a great song on here.
You.
And you know, but I like your rock and bluesy stuff too.
Me
you know,
too.
because
it's more fun to
fresh,
play.
Man. And you can tell, like you were saying, you know, you have fun with the rock and bluesy stuff, and then you bring it down a little bit too. And I can also tell with your finger picking, I can hear the strings, man.
Yes.
You know, I can
I
hear them under your hands.
Yeah.
And then I can also hear your vocals better and your lyrics. You know, I thought it was so interesting with like other arrangements. You know, to me, they're very smart lyrics.
Thanks.
You know,
I don't feel very smart.
But, you know, I'm listening to the songs, I'm going, well, that's pretty smart. You know, that's really, you know, a clever twist. You know, got to get to you, and it's like, you know, it's just come back when you can't stay. It's like, what a great lyric.
That one is Gillette. I wrote that with a gal here in town named Gillette Johnson, and we set up a co-write, and I got there, and she's like, I've got this phrase, and I don't know what to do with it. Come back when you can't stay for so long. And I was like, well, that's kind of genius. Let's do that.
It's so thought-provoking when you're listening to the song because it's like going, you know, it's kind of like, you know, hey, you know, get your stuff and go on and come back when you can't stay so long. It's
yeah.
Wow.
I like to hang out with you, but not that much.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you what, you definitely want to hang out with Parker Millsap.
Come do it.
Buy the new album or download it, however you, you know, get your music. Also, it's available on vinyl. And if you come and see him at a show, whether it's one of the solo or band shows, he'll also sign it for you. So you get an official signed copy.
My hand.
But other arrangements, what a great album.
Thank you.
And an incredible video that just released recently. And looking for some more and awesome things from the one and only Parker Millsap. Thanks for watching The Rockin' Review.